What's up everyone, this is Richard from VGR, and as promised, I'm back this week reviewing The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past. We've got a lot to talk about, so let's get to it. This game has pretty much been turned inside out by reviewers new and old, but you can never get enough of Zelda. I've got a complete box copy of the game and I want to share what it's like to open it and explore its contents. A Link to the Past was released in Japan winter 1991 with a release in the US April 1992, and the Player's Choice version in 96. They also released it on the Game Boy Advance with the Four Swords multiplayer game. But this time around, we're going to be focusing on the SNES game. This is by far my favorite of the series. When the Ocarina of Time came out, although it blew my mind, it still came in second. But this game is definitely in my top 5 SNES games of all time. A lot of people argue about where this game lies in the timeline. Which incarnation of Link this is? Have we ever seen the same Link more than once or twice? Back then, when we only had 3 Zelda games, eventually I realized that this one was first. Nowadays, it's really hard to tell, but there are a couple of reviewers that put it in perspective pretty good. Today, let's forget about what we know of the Zelda franchise and look at this game as if we were back when comic book trading, pog smashing, and neon green slap bracelets were cool. I got this game years ago, but somehow I lost it and then got it for the Game Boy Advance. But one day I stumbled across some PC games at the thrift store and found it lodged in between typing programs and VHS tapes. I couldn't believe I'd find a full box copy of this game for just $6. I don't have to tell you that I didn't hesitate when picking it up and buying it. It was a great day. Now before we get into the gameplay, let's check out the contents of the box. I really hate that they put the sticker on the cover like that, but either way I'm so happy to have this. First there's the map. They really don't do this type of thing anymore. On one side a complete overview of Hyrule. This is also the light world. On the sides are little tips to help you along the way. On the other side of the map are the first 3 dungeons in which you would have to pass to collect 3 pendants and move on to the Master Sword in the Lost Woods. On the bottom right corner there's a box entitled Next, Enter the Dark World, where they pretty much leave you a bit in the dark. Then we have the booklet. One thing about SNES booklets is that they were always in color, with a lot of artwork. And this box was full of artwork. In specific, this manual had a lot going for it. It gives you the legend of Hyrule and it really sets the stage for the adventure you're going to go on. Along with your basics on starting a game, control functions, an item list, even a brief summary of your very first mission. Finally, a very small portion of the in-game enemies. The next thing in the box is the Top Secrets booklet. This simply gives you little clues to certain parts in the game and it's actually a bit useful. Finally, we have the cartridge complete with its dust cover. I know this cartridge is older than the Player's Choice because they stopped making cartridges with this grip for the eject button before 96. I'll be once again playing this game on the Model 2 SNES. Here we go. For a game released in 92, it really looks nice. The cutscenes after the title screen tell you the story of a golden power from a hidden land that everyone was trying to find. People kept going off to find the land, but no one would ever come back. Then one day, evil flowing from the hidden land made the king send 7 wise men to seal the gate. And it stayed that way for a while until the wizard Aghanim released the seal, killed the king, and made the wise men's descendants vanish. So once again, Zelda will need a bit of saving. Now as for this walkthrough, I wanted to show you the entire game without spoiling any of the puzzle solving. So in this episode I will be going through the light world and showing you the order in which I got everything I needed for the main quest. And then up to the point I get the Master Sword and fight the wizard himself. As far as secrets and optional items, I did get some, but this game has a lot of secrets and my time is limited, so let's dig in. Okay, first things first. Your uncle has heard a cry from the dungeon, and as you wake, he tells you to stay put, but you shouldn't listen to him. Grab the lantern in the room and head out towards the castle. Follow the bricked path on the right towards the end, lift the bush and fall. Talk to your uncle, grab your sword and shield, and make your way out. Once you reach outside, run past the guards and into the castle. Once you're in, get the boomerang, make your way down to the basement, kill the guard, get the big key, and free Zelda. Now make your way back towards the throne room and Zelda will help you move the secret door. Make it through this simple dungeon to get to the sanctuary. Now make your way to the house that they marked on your map, where they think one of the wise men's descendants is. You find his wife, which tells you there's someone in town that knows where he is. It turns out to be a boy. Follow the marking he gives you to the Eastern Palace where you find Sahasrahla. He sends you on a quest to find 3 pendants to prove you're worthy of wielding the Master Sword. So off you go to the Eastern Palace dungeon. This first one is easy. Get the big key to get the bow and defeat the Armor's Knights. Grab the pendant and take it back to Sahasrahla. He gives you the Pegasus boots and tells you where to get the ice rod, which you won't need till later. Go to Kakariko village to the library and get the Book of Medora. Now you can head to the Desert Palace to collect your second pendant. Use the Book of Medora to read how to open the gate. Man, he looks kinda scared. The big key in this one gives you the Power Glove. Head to the southwestern part of the dungeon to get outside and pick up this heart container. Head towards the north for the second half of the dungeon. Now this part is very straightforward. Follow the path to the end, kill the guard, light the torches, the wall moves, and you get to kill Lamelas and claim the second pendant. Now head northeast until you reach the witch's magic shop. Past their house is a big rock. Lift it out of the way and continue north to Zora's waterfall. Give her 500 rupees to buy the flippers. And look around for the heart container. Be on the lookout for waterfalls. Some like this one have good items. You can trade your shield and boomerang for more powerful versions. Now to the Tower of Hera. Head northeast. There will be a big rock blocking the entrance to the mountain. Go into the cave and guide the old man out to the other side. He gives you a mirror and heals you whenever you come back to visit. Go through his cave to reach the top of the mountain. Go into the warp and for a brief minute you're in the dark world. Hop your way towards a light shaded spot and use the mirror to warp back to the light world, and then you can enter the tower. If you know this dungeon, it's much easier than it first seems. On the 4th level, fall through the floor to get the Moon Pearl. Go upstairs and fight Moldorm. And there's your 3rd pendant. Now on to the Master Sword. On the northwest side of Hyrule, there's the Lost Woods. Here you can find the mushroom for the witch. Be careful with the thieves, they love rupees and bombs. Follow the right paths until you eventually get to the Master Sword. Then Sahasrahla contacts you and sends you to the sanctuary. When you arrive, you find the pastor on the floor, and he tells you Zelda's been taken to the castle. By the way, you should stock up on fairies if you have bottles, just in case. Zelda games have never been made for the weak. Make your way to the roof of the castle and break the wizard's seal with the Master Sword. Make your way through these corridors to reach Aghanim. When you reach him, you find him with the princess. He makes her disappear and flies behind the curtain. Cut the curtain down and defeat him. As you kill him, he transports you to the Dark World. Sahasrahla contacts you again and tells you where you are and that you have to rescue 7 maidens that were trapped in 7 crystals. And that's where we continue next week. You can talk faster than you can play a game, so for those of you picking up this game for the first time, you're in for a treat. You've got a while before you finish this. And for the time it was released, it was one of the longer games. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube page and keep watching.